Friday, January 12th, and it is Wild Card Weekend. One of the truly great weekends for football fans there is, and I think it's even doubly great for the 49ers. Look, all you got to do is sit back, relax, and see what comes to you. Personally, I love it when I just watch football without the drama of I need this to happen. Like, I hate when the Bears or the Niners play on Thanksgiving or on Christmas or on New Year's. And let's face it, they played on all three this year. So just give me a weekend where I can watch some football and enjoy myself. And we got some really enjoyable football games, I think, shaped up for us. A couple maybe that might not be enjoyable games, but who knows? Football tends to happen. And funny things tend to happen in Wild Card Week. There's always a road upset. There's always a few didn't see that comings, and we'll see what they come out of. We'll go over the games here in just a little bit. But again, welcome. It is so good to have you here. What an incredible football season it's been. Thank you for all your support, your likes, your subscribes, to those of you who have even gone ahead and clicked notify. I really appreciate that. To those of you who are members, and I see an awful lot of our members, True Blue Forever, Chef A, San Bruno Mike, and I'm just looking at the scroll right now. I know there are even more than that in here. It's so good to see you. As you can see, if you just scroll back through the chat, I have thrown up the link if you want to join the show with a video chat today. We will be taking a call or two if it comes on in. It's not an official Sports Phone Friday because, again, it's a little bit of a wild card weekend, but you want to get in. There are so many things to talk about around the NFL, and Larry and I just had what I thought was a robust wake up, if you don't mind me saying. We went over everything from Bill Belichick to his exit to where he might end up next, the rumors of Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll exiting stage left of the Seattle Seahawks. Didn't see that one coming. That's a little bit of the surprise of the week. Mike Vrabel's exit from Tennessee has been a surprise this week. And then one of the biggest surprises is Nick Saban has finally said, I'm good. I'm going to leave the throne in Tuscaloosa. That is a huge job opening. The stress and pressure. Who's a tougher act to follow? Nick Saban at Alabama or Bill Belichick in New England? Look at it this way. Bill Belichick's replacement, Jared Mayo, has been tapped. So we know it's going to be Jared Mayo. And Mayo is going to get a couple years to rebuild that. I'm going to tell you, they're going to expect the next head coach of Alabama to be in the national championship conversation day one. That is a ton of pressure, Maybe the most pressure-filled, thankless one loss. If you catch one loss at Alabama, they're going to hate you. That's the standard that Nick Saban has established in Tuscaloosa with one of the single greatest statistics I've ever heard attached to anybody. Nick Saban has had more first-round draft picks than he's had losses as head coach at Alabama. That's absolutely absurd. So if you would like to absurdly support what we're doing here, go ahead, hit like, hit subscribe. That's free. It just costs you nothing and does a lot for me. If you'd like to really support this channel, obviously super chats are open. Those are always thanked. Memberships are available. And I do believe that on Sunday night, we could get a Sports Bane member-only wild card recap show. So just, what are the perks of membership? We'll be totally honest. You support the channel. That's the perk of the membership. You helping out, but there will be some fun things along the way for sure. There's a new bar that I care about on my side of the city opening up. Members might be invited to exclusive meetups there. Again, there are reasons to become a member. We're trying to figure it all out. We've only been offering these for about a month, and over 70 of you have signed up to already support this channel, and that means an awful lot to me, my wife, the family, all of us. So thank you very, very much. And again, for free, just hit like. And for free, you can join us on a video call today. I've already included it. Let me go ahead and put it out on the text one more time right here. I'm going to copy this, copy, boom, come here, boom, paste. I'm going to let you see that it's from me. This is from Damon. Check out the chat. And there it is. A new link in if you want to join us today for a little chat. Chef A. Says, why doesn't Greg Papa, when he calls a touchdown, just say Niners instead of that San Francisco? Because he used Raiders. Touchdown Raiders is something he wanted to, I guess, get away from, and he thought San Francisco is going to sound so much different. I think Greg Papa is a fabulous play-by-play guy on the radio. The thing that I like the least about his presentation is his touchdown call for the Niners. I love everything else, though. The man, you can see the football game through Greg Papa's words, but I hear you, Chef A. And look at you, actually listening to KNBR. You're the one. What is it, True Blue Forever? How about a topless Sports Bane membership show? What do you think there is to be gained by that? What do you think? Member debauchery, halfway club. Smiley Dan got there. We just missed each other, Smiley Dan. Just missed each other the other day. We really did. Michelle Haberman, by the way, she's starting to feel a little bit better. She's excited about Super Wildcard Weekend and a Mofo Friday. It's out there. And I agree with you, Michelle. I love when I just get to soak in all the football. Don't have to worry about the Niners. Don't have to worry about, you got no dog in the fight. You're just watching them dogs fight. That's an awful lot of fun. We got JP from the 510 saying, my favorite part about the Niners having the 1 seed, watching the rest of the NFC fight for their lives to have a date at Levi's versus a rested Niners team. Crazy things can happen in that first round. There is no doubt. Stacy Leo dropping a Mofo Friday. Everybody's happy. Everybody's excited. And on that note, let me thank everybody again who sponsors this show as a sponsor, starting with my man Ike. I don't know if you got any plans this weekend. Make sure you get an Ike sandwich involved in your life this weekend. You're going to be very, very happy that you did. Absolutely delicious sandwiches, nearly 100 locations, probably a chance to deliver right to you, especially if you live on the West Coast, in a city on the West Coast. He's in LA, he's in California, I believe in San Diego. He's in other college towns in Northern California. He's in Vegas now. I know he's going to be there for the Super Bowl. And who knows? Maybe the Plouffe shows up at the Super Bowl too, should the Niners bother showing up at the Super Bowl. We always want to, if you'd like to make a wager on the Super Bowl, tell you that mybookie.ag is the preferred site for the Plouffers. Use promo code Damon when you sign up for mybookie.ag to get 50% off a $1,000 deposit match. So you can check that out. Post Game and Damon. You're not going to get anything from them this weekend because the Niners don't have a post-game show because they don't have a game this weekend. But Post-Game and Damon comes to you through Dr. Paul Hughes. You can use promo code Hunter for a 50% off cellular replacement therapy, which could probably be enough to have you avoid surgery, partial, total knee replacement, hip, shoulder. Dr. Paul Hughes has a way to fix you without invasive surgery. Go to, ironically, orthopedicsurgeries.com to avoid an orthopedic surgery. So there is that. And of course, on a Friday, in memory of our dearly departed friend, Michael Urban, we always have a good for ball, bad for ball segment on a Friday, brought to you by our good friends at Uncle Boys. We love you, Uncle Boys. If you love cheeseburgers, you're going to love Uncle Boys in the Inner Rich. Stop on by, get a burger, try the lumpia, get the onion rings. I'm telling you, Uncle Boys is delicious, and we're thrilled that they are part of this very important segment on this show. Good for ball, bad for ball, and why even wait to the end? Let's just get it in right now. Good for ball. Some breaking news about the San Francisco Giants actually doing something, and this is a move that I know Michael Urban would like. The Giants have signed former St. Louis Cardinal Jordan Hicks, the hard-throwing reliever who hits like 105 on the gun. Is apparently the plan is to stretch him out and have him be a starter. So when Larry and I were talking about this when the news broke on Wake Up, he and I instantly thought, oh my God, if the Giants have a lead after 7 innings, they're going to win those games because you got Jordan Hicks in the 8th and Camilo Duvall in the 9th. That sounds pretty good. And the Giants are going to have to play shorter games through strong pitching and defense to win any amount of games this year. Their offense feels anemic. But Jordan Hicks, I didn't even, until I read the Jeff Passan story, think about him getting stretched out to be a starter. I don't know if I love him in that role. So everything the Giants do comes with a grain of salt and a little bit of hope. But there you go. Jordan Hicks getting stretched out and the Giants see him as a starter. I'm still going to label it all under good for ball, okay? Bad for ball. We have rightfully tisked Draymond Green. What Draymond Green has done to sabotage the entirety of last year and the most and still drifting into this year is significant. And if it were anyone else, it would be unforgivable. But let me tell you what Draymond also is. Draymond, as frustrating as he can become, is one of the reasons why even when the Warriors lose, it's not a straight up embarrassing mollywhopping of a bullshit effort. The Warriors have been playing a pathetic brand of basketball, and what has been bad for ball is the Golden State Warriors without Draymond Green. He better be playing on this road trip, which begins Chicago tonight. What's their next game? They got their 4 games coming up, but it's a back-to-back starting with the Bulls Friday night. And it's a 4-game road trip, and we better see Draymond again tonight. Guy who's been unhurt, get him out there. The entire season is disintegrating right now. Warriors without Draymond, bad for ball. It's time to get him back on this team. And hopefully he straightens up and flies right and is a reason why this year starts to turn around. It can't get much worse than the past couple of Warriors games that we've seen. There is your Michael Urban good for ball, bad for ball, brought to you by Uncle Boys. We thank them very, very much. Again, it's wild card weekend. Pardon me. Sip of the day's already passed, kids, just so you know. That happened earlier this morning. Very interesting games come up on Saturday. The Cleveland Browns, Houston Texans game, I should say, feels like there's a sneaky chance there that the winner of that game could go further in this postseason than anyone would have expected. If the Texans actually get right and win this game, look out. They're playing with house money. That is a nothing-to-lose football team that not a lot of people have leaned into to really look at how good they are. I think the Cleveland Browns win the game. And if the Cleveland Browns win the game, look out, because now the Cleveland Browns are officially coming on. But that is a very interesting game, and unlike the usual, Texans are in that 1 o'clock start, it's going to be a game that no matter who comes out of it, no one's really going far this postseason. I don't know if I feel that way here. That's a sneaky, interesting game. Followed by a game that's going to be on Peacock. Don't complain. Just buck up your $6 if you want to watch Dolphins and Chiefs, and who won't want to watch that? That is a marquee game going behind the paywall there. Dolphins and Chiefs, Tua versus Mahomes, McDaniel versus Reed, Dolphins versus Elements. Now, I know that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be in those elements too, but elements to the Chiefs are a little bit more, they're used to it than the Dolphins are. The Dolphins do not play well when it's freezing, and it is going to be freezing at Arrowhead. It's going to be freezing in Buffalo, too, when we get to Sunday morning and we see it's Steelers and Bills. Feels like the Steelers are going to need to catch a miracle to win that game. Buffalo is pointed in the right direction, and even though the Steelers are in the postseason at 10-7, they are without their best shots to win this game. The Steelers, to win that game in Buffalo, I think needed just a monster defensive afternoon where they're turning the Bills over multiple times. Minka Fitzpatrick might go. Minka Fitzpatrick might be going. But he's banged up, and TJ Watt isn't. And that's just bad news for the Steelers. Again, elements could be involved. It could get sloppy. It could be a ground game. But the Bills should win that game. I think we all know that. Then we get to Packers Cowboys, 1:30 on Fox on Sunday. If the Green Bay Packers win that game, the Green Bay Packers are coming to Levi's Stadium. I think the Green Bay Packers might be a little bit more of a handful for the 49ers than the Cowboys would be. The Niners can deal with the Cowboys. We've seen it enough. We think that that's a good matchup. The matchup with the Packers gets a little bit more into head-scratching territory because what are they? What are they right now? Is Jordan Love is an 18-1 touchdown to interception ratio in his last few weeks here. He's been really feeling it and coming on as a quarterback. Packers got talent that isn't household name talent, but is legit talent. And I'm not going to be surprised at all if the Packers go in and beat the Dallas Cowboys. Not at all. If that happens, Mike McCarthy gets fired. And then the question is Bill Belichick going to be on Jerry Jones's radar? But I could see that all fall apart spectacularly for the Dallas Cowboys, who've been great at home. They're the only undefeated team at home in the NFL's postseason. But I think the Cowboys lose at home. And I think that the Detroit Lions could lose at home. And this is another one of those, do you really want to see the Rams because familiarity breeds contempt? And I know that the 49ers played a very conservative game with Sam Darnold when the Rams were just in town last weekend. But the Rams have an awful lot of inner working knowledge of the Niners being division rivals. That would be like the Packers or the Rams, I think, are a little bit more of a worry for the Niners in the divisional than whoever might show up in the actual NFC title game. And the Niners better be in that damn game too, to say the least. The pressure on the Niners to be in the Super Bowl is immense, as it should be. As it should be. There are no moral victories in losing. There's all sorts of moral victories in losing if you're the, just got here Detroit Lions or Houston Texans, even the Buccaneers, to be honest with you. Rams and Lions on Sunday night, 5 o'clock NBC. What a game that should be. The storylines are thick. Stafford going back to Detroit to play the spoiler of the first home playoff game the Lions have seen in 3 decades. I mean, that's just, you want drama? You got drama right there. Eagles, Buccaneers, Monday Night Football, and let's just call that a Buccaneers upset right now, right? Go Buccaneers. Go Buccaneers. The Eagles have just so fallen apart and collapsed with that's embarrassing, NFL film that some plays that they've been putting on film the last few weeks. It feels like every bit of energy around the Eagles right now has gone from overwhelmingly positive to destructively negative. And I've seen teams from Philadelphia drown in the own negativity in the past, and I think it happens again here. Buccaneers over the Eagles is my wild card weekend upset special. Let's see if the curse of Big Dom doesn't actually follow the Eagles into the postseason. And if Sirianni loses that game, then might the Eagles be thinking, Bill Belichick's available? Good stuff. What a wild card weekend we got in front of us. This is going to be fascinating. I absolutely love that it is here. It's one of the best weekends of the entire year. It totally is. Other NFL news that you need to know about, it looks like Adam Peters is following Bob Myers, of all people, to the Washington Commanders. Adam Peters is the new general manager. It's the first step in revamping their front office under new owner Josh Harris. John Keim with the story on ESPN. They had a handful of candidates, but with It feels like Bob Myers playing a role in luring Adam Peters out of the Bay. Bob Myers has got a good hire here. Adam Peters, his fingerprints have been all over the success of the San Francisco 49ers. He's one of those low profile but incredibly important front office members. I know that Larry Krueger is unhappy that he is no longer in the mix of, guys to replace John Lynch. Should John Lynch decide to say happy trails, should something spectacular like a Lombardi trophy fall into the lap of the 49ers this year, that's a good one gone. Successful teams, though, lose good talent and good coaches and good front office members all the time. There's been a lot of churn in the Kyle Shanahan era. It feels like he's replacing his defensive coordinator every couple of years because he has. It feels like offensive assistants come and go because they do. Kyle really is the nerve center of everything the 49ers do, and as long as that guy remains around, the chances of the Niners being a good team, I believe, remain high. But, having to restructure each and every year is quite a little bit of a pressure cooker, but the pressure cooker that the 49ers are in right now, again, is as extreme as it could possibly get. Massive pressure. Massive pressure. But they're ready for it. I really believe that they are ready to answer this bell. And I hope I'm right. I hope I'm in right. All right. By the way, I told you at the end of yesterday's show, boy, I got this one wrong. I thought that the Butcher Boy's father had passed away. Papa Shasky suffered a very serious heart attack, and he remains in very serious condition. But he remains with us. Unfortunately, it was Matt Steinmetz's father that passed away. So condolences to Matt Steinmetz and his family for losing his father. I know a lot of you have experienced the loss of a parent. It's powerful when it happens. It really, really is. And it certainly puts in perspective, anything that feels like winning or losing in the world of sports when you have a loss like that. So best of luck to Papa Shasky and condolences to Matt Steinmetz. And I'm sorry that I got that one wrong. I reached out to Butcher yesterday and told him I got that one wrong. Apologized profusely. And of course, Butcher was very, very sweet and said, just the fact that you thought enough to call in the first place is why we love you. So it's why I love them. And there's a lot of reasons to love you guys. And again, let's check out what's going on here in the chat. Nathaniel Richards says, Damon, I agree with you. Papa paints a great picture with what's happening. He gives you more wide receiver locations than the television does. I mean, he paints a vivid picture, and he does it in great fashion. Again, one of the biggest mistakes the Raiders made was saying goodbye to Greg Papa. Truly. Why would you do that? Damon, like what you said with Larry Krueger, hard nipples. Greedy Greg, I forgot what we were saying was going to give Larry hard nipples, but maybe he did have some today. The success of Wake Up giving us both hard nipples. Whenever Larry and I are on YouTube together, we become the biggest sports station coming out of the Bay Area. That is documented. That is real. You can count the dings. You can count the views. You can count the likes. And it's awesome. It really is. And we thank you, all of you, for supporting us so much. Greedy Greg says, hey, get your guy Ike. We need a shop up here in Sacramento. Mr. Pickle ain't cutting it anymore. I like Mr. Pickle, but it's no Ike's. There's no doubt about that. And there's no doubt about this either, San Bruno Mike. Lumpia, never a bad decision. I never saw lumpia that I didn't like. That is for sure. Drew Down, good to see you. Happy Friday to you. What is up, my man? Again, the support by you guys and gals is overwhelming, and we thank you so very, very much for it. Sip of the day, off the board. That's it. Here's a question from Teflon Swan. Damon, how long do you sit here and yap? It's usually about an hour, sometimes more, sometimes less. But the beauty is, as long as I want to. I mean, that's the awesome part of this. And again, you want to yap with me? I'm going to throw it out there one more time. We've had no takers so far. Here you go. I am copying. I am pasting. Here we go. Boom. Right there. Just put it into the chat. You want a video chat with us? There it is, boys and girls. There it is. Oh, look, and there is our good friend at Uncle Boys. Good for ball. Uncle Boys, you're great for us, man. Go get yourself a burger at Uncle Boys this weekend. You're going to be happy that you did. Old Dirty Hunga says it's time to have Draymond 100% one way or the other. Buy in or go away. Yeah, I mean, look, I agree. Draymond either needs to commit to giving his very, very best to the Golden State Warriors, or he needs to be part of a trade package that will get people in doing their very, very best for the Golden State Warriors. It needs to happen. It absolutely needs to happen. Chef A is putting it in very simple terms, saying they better fucking play better, or damn it, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I'm still going to cheer for them as an ardent fan, but damn it, wake up, Warriors. Telling you, when you hit that wall, when you start getting old, boy, you get old real fast in the NBA. That is a young man's league for sure. Again, it wasn't an official Sports Phone Friday, but we put it out there. And I love when people respond and say, I'm not shy. Here we go. And Mike, the first one to go. Mike, let me grab a pair of headphones here so I can hear you as we talk to each other. What's going on? How are you, Mike?
Hey again, Damon. Just a couple of guys yapping around.
That's it. It's all we do. We're just flapping our gums. Is anything we're talking about important to the world? No, but it's important to us. So to our worlds, yes.
I had something that I've been pissing me off all week, and I wanted to run by you and see if we're on the same page. I've seen so many of the damn national shows, you probably know which ones I'm talking about, who are calling it today now that the playoffs have begun. Rams Cowboys NFC Championship game. They're already 3 steps ahead that the Rams are going to beat the Lions, and then the Niners have to face the Rams, and oh boy, that's a tough divisional matchup for the Niners. They don't want to see the Rams, and the Rams just beat them in week 18, so it's going to be a Rams-Cowboys NFC Championship, and that is pissing me off.
Well, here's what I do know. Is that any argument that the Rams have some sort of ownage over the Niners is putting an awful lot of emphasis on one NFC Championship game, which, let's be honest, very important game, and the 49ers lost it. But the amount of kicking that guy's ass that Kyle Shanahan has done to Sean McVay is significant. I will say this, though. The Rams represent more fear on or off paper than a few of these other teams, just because familiarity breeds contempt. And there is inner working knowledge of teams and offenses and just familiar division rivals. So that's a tough out. It would be a tough out. But I just don't think you can say that it's preordained Cowboys anything. Like, I think the Cowboys are a touch overrated. Let's see them get past the Green Bay Packers before we just start talking about how they are absolutely going to be, in an NFC Championship game, because
the Cowboys, they're living on that knife edge right now of, if they win this game, they're going to the NFC Championship game. If they lose this game, Mike McCarthy's getting fired.
Yes.
Like, we're on 2 wildly different spectrums with the Cowboys, depending on the next 36 hours, 48 hours.
I'll tell you, as we're sitting around and everyone's trying to pick the team that you don't want to play, I can see why the Rams are one of those teams. But, I was talking about this with Larry on Wake Up, and I do think that he summed it up very, very well. The Rams really are a one-trick pony. They've got a really good offense. Defense is a little bit of a yawn, and it's one of the worst special teams units in all of football. I believe they've missed more field goals than anybody else. I would pick the Niners over the Rams, but the Rams, to me, would represent a longer day at the office than, I don't know, maybe even the Packers, who might be the better football team. But again, just a familiarity standpoint does make me a little nervous. But it's playoff football. You should be a little nervous no matter who you're facing, because you one bad down, one bad turnover, one bad series means that could be where the story ends.
And on one hand, I feel like it's been too much overreaction over them beating the human victory cigar, as you lovingly call him. But then at the same time, pressure on Kyle Shanahan. You've been over this for a couple of years now. Gotta win the big playoff games. And I know you mentioned he's won a couple playoff games every year, but rubber meets the road right here. Regular season doesn't matter. Win in the playoffs several times, or what are we talking about? Otherwise, it's just, yeah, you can have a great regular season, but we need to get across the hurdle this time.
Absolutely. I've seen what bridesmaid status looks like, and they've been a good-looking bridesmaid. I'm seeing all of them up there. Niners look pretty damn good, but you got to be the bride. You got to in one of these years, and Shanahan knows it. Again, it takes an awful lot of skill. It takes an awful lot of decisions that lined up and worked out when it was all said and done, and decisions that didn't work out, didn't totally retard your path to success. Trey Lance could have been a moment that ripped up the Niners and their internal souls. But thanks to Brock Purdy, no one's even thinking about it anymore.
Who is that? I didn't even.
Right. But it as good as you are, as well built as you are, as well executed as you might be, it takes a little stardust and magic to go along with health to win at the highest of high levels. And hopefully all the stardust and magic finally falls into the pocket of Kyle Shanahan and the Niners. Mike, I'm glad that you answered the bell, man. You're not shy. Thank you so much for being a great part of this community. Good to see you again. And I look forward to talking to you soon on another Sports Phone Friday when we officially put one of those up.
Thanks, Damon. Everyone subscribe to the Plus and become one of the initiated.
Oh, thank you very much. You're born into it. Born into it. Let me tell you, when we wrap up, you want more Niners talk? Here's my man right here, 49er Ultimate Report. I see you're pulling plusers into your show. I checked it out, and I love it, man. I love the way this community supports our own, and that includes you, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just another Friday for me.
That's good. That's it. If it were any other day of the week for you, you wouldn't be on the same page with the rest of us. So I'm glad it's Friday for you too.
Yes, it is.
What are you thinking about Wild Card Weekend? A team that you do want to see, a team that you don't want to see coming to Levi's?
Oh man, like Wild Card Weekend, a lot of good games, a lot of good matchups. I want to play the Rams. I want to play the Packers because I want to see a Kyle Shanahan versus his assistants in the playoffs, just like in 2019 when we played Matt LaFleur. They had Aaron Rodgers, and that did not look good for the Packers that game. So, and I'm not afraid of any team in the NFL. You got to play whatever team is on your schedule. I don't care if we have to play the Cowboys, the Lions, the Buccaneers, the Eagles, and the teams I just mentioned. I just want to watch my team play because in the playoffs, it's a different ball game. And if I want to be completely honest, I'm not worried about the Cowboys because every time I watch the Cowboys in the playoffs, why don't they ever win? I don't have the answer to that. It's for a different topic. The Lions are just in the playoffs for the first time. I think I was a little toddler when that happened, and they haven't won a playoff game in a very, very long time. So until those two teams win, I'm not worried about them because they have to win. They got to prove to everybody. I know the media loves to say the Cowboys are America's team. They're the best team. We got to respect the Cowboys. Well, I'm not a big Cowboys fan because I'm a 49er fan. But I am worried about those teams. The Buccaneers, they're a team that no one's, they're like counting out. The Packers, their quarterback's very young. And, of course, the Rams. The Niners, we know we beat the Rams when our team's healthy. So it's always those teams that no one is talking about or they're the most dangerous. So that's my thoughts on the teams that I want to face and the teams I don't want to face.
Let me ask you this. Are you getting your Peacock on? Are you signed up for Chiefs Dolphins?
Man, I wish all my money goes to rent and food, but
so not peacocking. There you go. So here's the deal. I wouldn't be peacocking either, except for that's where all that Real Housewives crap lives, and my wife is addicted to Real Housewives, all of them. So I've got Peacock, and also the Hoosiers play Purdue later on this basketball season on Peacock. Look, they know what they're doing. They're taking games that people want and they're putting them in places to, if you want to watch it, you got to sign up for it. And they got me. They sons of bitches, they got me. But I'll tell you what, you tune in to Wake Up on Monday and we'll talk you through all of it. So if you missed the game, you missed the recap, Larry and I will get you set up. Always good to see you, Niners Ultimate Report. You take care of yourself, man. Have a great weekend.
You too.
There he is. Thank you so very, very much. And thank you to all of you. Let's see what else we got going on in the chat here. True Blue Forever, just good advice for all. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Where did that come from? Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Well, I don't know where that came from, but I'm glad it happened. Drew Down, I guess there's a discussion of big boy pants here. Jorts greater than big boy pants. I mean, you really got to have some sass about you to pull off jorts and get away with it. I had a pair of jorts that I wore an awful lot in college. Remember when I was in college, like if you got caught with a bag of weed on you, you might be like in trouble. It was not the world of legalized weed. And the reason why I wore the jorts, even though I knew I looked stupid as hell in them, was in the inseam. Like, I'm not going to stand up and show you, but in the inseam of the jorts, I'm not wearing them right now. They were some hemp brand jorts, but there was a hidden Velcro pocket in the inseam where I would keep the Fatty Boom Batty. I would keep the 1E or the JJ Raider Memorial Ganja jar. It's before I even met JJ Raider, before we knew him. I had this secret pocket. And unless you were going to straight up like Sollozzo grabbing my dick and junk before I went to the bathroom to get the gun that was hidden because they got one of those old toilets, old pull chain toilets. You saw Sollozzo after, what was it, McCluskey didn't frisk him as hard as he should. Sollozzo got right up into Gabagool. If you wanted to find my weed, you would have had to have grabbed the full Bozak to find it. So that's why I wore my jorts, and I feel like I'm oversharing. I'm definitely oversharing. The whole point is I was safe when I needed to be, thanks to those jorts. And, Smiley Dan, our safety inspector, I'm sure is absolutely agreeing to this. Let's see here. Sam Bruno Mike says, I see Bob Myers grabbed Adam Peters from the Niners. Commanders making moves. It'll be very interesting to see which head coach they end up walking away with now that Ron Rivera is out on the outs. By the way, Otis Bird. Prayers up to Shasky's and Steiny's family, indeed. Absolutely, indeed. Drew Down is saying, hey, there is an Ike's up in Sac. Go get it. Go get it. Go Ike from our friend the Shaw, who is among the initiated. By the way, those of you who are going members into your second month, you're all about to get fancy, shiny new badges soon. Who doesn't love a shiny, fancy badge? You're about to graduate from blue stars to another color. We're coming up on our first month. So if you want to keep up in the color patrol, you better get it now to be initiated. And again, we will be doing a Sports Bane wildcard recap Sunday night. So be on the lookout for that. If you are a member. All right. My friends, my people, if you need more Niners, and you did not watch Wake Up this morning, Get in there, baby. Larry and I did a comprehensive, full-on 49er examination, deconstruction, recapping the year, going over postseason awards, meticulous game-by-game wildcard weekend breakdown. It is all there for you. A little Ralph and Balky at the end of it is waiting there for you. Breaking news that we dealt with as it was coming in this morning, all waiting there for you. And thank you for waiting for me. Each and every Monday through Friday at 11, you are here. You are hanging out. You are supporting this channel. And you're all amazing. Drew Down. Sassy and classy. With my jorts? True Blue forever. You really need skinny legs for jorts. What are we doing? Is this because Tyreek Hill's house almost burnt down? And so now we're all like TLC, Lisa Left Eye Lopezing it again? I mean, Waterfalls is a great song. So is No Scrubs. Like, No Scrubs is outstanding as a song. It really is. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. I know that you're going to have it your way or nothing at all. But I think you're moving too fast. LW. We have a new member. That gets a oy, 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 and a
Maximum
LW, a new member. Welcome to the initiated. Sports Pain's going to be on one this Sunday night. I feel it already. I feel it already. I feel it in my bones. Bringing it right back to NFL at all times. This is why I love you, audience. Vapoterra. No scrubs is a good rule for life and NFL roster construction. Absolutely. No one's looking for his scrubinos. True Blue forever. Stop saying peacock. What do you think? I'm trying to make fetch happen over here? You want to watch one of the games of the weekend? Arrowhead in the playoffs? Like, that's always good drama right there. It's going to be freezing. Mahomes and Tua. Again, I'm already in. Jillian's already given the peacock her $6, so I get to, bask in that glory. Look at Stacy. I'm a peacock parasite. I'm going to be watching. There you go. You got a family member. Peacock, that not exactly caught up with Netflix. It's stomping out, sharing that password. Maybe that'll be down the road. But in the meantime, get your cock on. That's it. Baron Red saying, what's the cutoff for the badge? Well, when you if you become not a member, then it cuts off, I believe. But like, when is the cutoff? I think it goes like there are badges that you get in year 2 or year 3 of membership, I believe. So it never changes. More colors, there's a lot of colors out there. I don't know what they all are. Again, I don't know much of this. I don't know much about anything still. I've been doing this for almost a year, right? I still don't know half of what we're doing over here. We're very, very lucky to even be here and be on today, thanks to the internet and Jillian for getting us up and on. There's still an awful lot to learn. An awful lot to learn. We're still trying to learn it all. But thank you to LW for becoming a member. And what do you know? Old Dirty Hungus. Dropping a little super chat on us. Going in the JJ Raider Ganja jar right there. You have a bunch of us heathens quoting the other guys. Sorry, I'm a child. I've only seen the other guys once. Isn't that it's what Russell Crowe and the guy who played Ken? Can't think of his name right now. I'm not really down with the other guys. I'm just going to have to tell you that. LW. Hold on. LW gets to officially ask a question on the day when he joins as a member. Damon, you've never done a desk pop? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. And apparently I got the whole movie wrong. It's Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. So I've never seen that movie. I thought the other guys was like a Russell Crowe something. So I've got the whole movie wrong. I'm not going to salvage this segment. Again, we have confirmation. Old Dirty Hungus. Other guys, Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Michael Keaton. Haven't seen that one. I guess that makes me the lonely guy. I will, smooth transition. I'll never be lonely with you. All right, that's corny. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting it. If you are listening on the podcast, I'm going to tell you there was no Club Plus today. This is where we all get off the train. Going to be back 8 a.m. Monday. Larry and I will be recapping with a wake up everything that happened over Wildcard Weekend. We will have identified the 49ers opponent in the divisional, and we will get you ready for the biggest game of the year the 49ers have played to date next Sunday. That's going to be a big one, but wake-ups are happening at 8 a.m. on Mondays and Fridays between now and the end of the 49ers season. And of course, I will be with you 5 days a week at 11 a.m. West Coast time right here on the Plus. Thank you so much. Please check out the videos that we've got going up. We, after the Ravens game, took a little dip through the holidays. It's all starting to come back up. The algorithm kissing right on the forehead. Right on the forehead once again. Damon, Plus Mania 3, when is it happening? Union Street, perhaps? I got buddies of mine who just opened a bar in the Excelsior. So I think the next Plus Mania is going to be happening somewhere at the Halfway Club. Don't know when. Thinking February, wrapping up the football season at some point in time it could happen. I think Kruger and I might get the whole damn band back together. Got to get Paulie Mack out for that bad boy. Had lunch with Paulie Mack this week, by the way. It's great to see Paulie and Tony Ryan. Great guys. Really, really great guys. And you're right. Plus Mania 3. The Revenge. Is it close to BART? No. Well, no, actually, yeah, it is. You get off at the Balboa station and it's just right down Geneva. You could walk it. Absolutely. It's the old broken record. Yes, it is. The old broken record, Michael Chan, you're right about that, is the Halfway Club. One of my oldest friends in the city, Greg Quinn, and Ethan Terry, two really good friends of mine, are the owners. And we will be treated very, very well. Again, we eventually will bring it around. The tour of Plus Manias will never be in just one place because we love Victory Hall. We will be going back to Victory Hall at some point. I promise you that. Feels like in the summer, we'll try to do like, we'll get group tickets to go to a Giants game. They should be readily available and inexpensive this summer. And we'll start at Victory Hall. We'll go to a Giants game and then probably go back to Victory Hall and just get mollywop together. Little something around Uncle Boy's over there on Union Street. Yeah, that could happen. Oh, and you know what? Uncle Boy's, you told me about this. The great chicken spot over there, Pollo Supremo. I've been talking about that since you've told me about that. And if there's one thing I know about Uncle Boy's, they know local cuisine. Because they be local, and that's why we be loving them. All right, everyone, enjoy football this weekend. What a great weekend. Hopefully the Warriors decide not to shit the bed multiple times this weekend, too. And everyone will be happy on Monday morning. I'll be with you 8 a.m. live Monday morning for Wake Up. We'll have an awful lot for you next week as we get closer and closer to divisional football, baby. You're the best. Thank you so much for all you do to support me. It means a lot. And please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it.